Welcome to another episode of the Tief's Inspired. Today I'm going to be showing you how to cook a very slow cooked mutton Nihari style dish. This is very traditional, very authentic Pakistani dish, and every time I eat it I absolutely love it. It's a very fatty, full of cholesterol kind of dish, but this is a sort of a special occasion dish, so hopefully I've simplified it and made it very simple how I like it and how you can enjoy it at home. It's a very technical kind of dish, but I've simplified it and made it really easy for you to follow this recipe. So hopefully you're going to have a fantastic dish. You can cook it with lamb or beef, but today I'm having mutton with the fat on, and it's going to be absolutely greasy goodness. So yeah, so it's going to be a mutton Nihari style, very slow cooked, absolutely gorgeous dish. Right, I have my ingredients laid out. Cardamom, star anise, cinnamon, bay leaf, cumin, garlic, ginger, peppercorn, cloves, my little spice mix, nice garnish, coriander, lemon, garlic, chili, onions, and then lovely meat. And I've used the leaves of the coriander. I'm going to use the stalks. Don't like to waste anything. That stalks has some fantastic flavour. Right, bismillah. Right, to my pan I'm going to add about 200 ml of vegetable oil. You can use ghee if you want, but the ghee has a strong fragrance which I don't want in this. So just neutral kind of fragrance and flavour. I'm using a fair bit of oil, but I'll show you a technique how to bring out the oil out in the end. When you add the oil, it just brings some phenomenal flavours. I'm just going for the flavour, that's why I'm doing this. Right, so this is about 1300 grams of mutton. I've got the mutton shank. I'm going to need that flavour of the marrow of the bone. There you go. I've got loads of, this is the mutton chop, full fat. I need all this for the flavour. Loads of different cuts. I bought a mutton, half a mutton for the family, as Asian families do, and I told them to, on certain parts, to leave the fat, because I was going to cook these beautiful dishes. So it's lovely. It saves a lot of money when you buy in Asian shops a fair amount of meat, as long as you can store it. So there you go, lovely fatty gelatinous meat. This is not one good for your blood cholesterols and so on, but it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Bismillah. I'm just searing the meat. The fragrance is absolutely divine. So it's been about 3-4 minutes. Look at that. There's amazing colour on the meat. So this process, I'm going to give it a good 10 minutes. And then I'm going to move on to the next process. Right, that meat has been cooking away in the last 10 minutes. Beautiful colours. Lovely hot oil. That lamb mutton chop, sorry. It's going to be beautiful. All this fat's going to melt away and build a phenomenal flavour. Right, now what I'm going to do is remove the meat now for the next process. So get the meat out. Right, I've taken out all the meat. The gas was on high. Put it on a medium. So here's the cumin seed. That's 1 teaspoon. Some lovely peppercorn. About half a teaspoon. This amazing clove. Again, about half a teaspoon. I've got 1 star anise. This is very aniseedy. 1 is plenty. It's going to bring out some phenomenal flavours. about 6 cardamom pods, some cinnamon, meat with this lovely cassia bark. It is beautiful. This is nice, sweet and fragrant. About 3 bay leaves. Once again, this builds a lovely fragrance as well as a sweetness. 2 tablespoons of ginger and 2 tablespoons of garlic. Got about 150 grams of onion, which is 2 small onions really. Traditionally, this onion would be like fried and added on to the end, but I find this is much easier and hopefully going to be an easy process for you guys. Give this all a mix. Remember, the gas now is on a sort of medium low, so it shouldn't burn. The oil was extremely hot and it's got the fat from the lamb, mutton sorry, in this oil as well, so it's going to be absolutely flavoursome, I promise you. So there you go. These are the stalks left from my coriander. It's going to build a lovely flavour as well as fragrance. Now I want the onions to soften up slightly. The onions have been cooking away. The beautiful meat is just resting. Got a lovely piece of mutton. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, now I'm going to add the spices and the salt. So there's 1.5 teaspoons of salt. You can add more or less depending on how you prefer salt to taste basically. 3 teaspoons of coriander powder, and I have 2 teaspoons of chili powder. This is going to be medium to spicy. Add about 3 to 4 if you like it sort of madras, and add more if you like it ridiculously hot. That's 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, and this is 2 teaspoons of general curry powder. I normally use the East End brand. This is my curry paste spice that I make in my restaurant, but you can use general curry powder, no problem whatsoever. So whack this in. As soon as the spice goes in and hits the oil, that waft is absolutely gorgeous. So what I'm doing now is just basically cooking out these spices, and when you cook the spices, trust me, in the oil, it just builds a phenomenal flavour. I'm going to try to get the maximum out of all the flavours in this amazing dish. So about 3-4 minutes. Put a lid on. It's on a medium-high heat. Right, that's been a few minutes. Now I'm going to add this beautiful meat. Basically, I want the spice to sort of penetrate the mutton. I promise you I'm trying to make it simple for you guys as possible, but really with these couple of few techniques you're going to have an absolute belter of a curry. There we go. So that's been mixed wonderfully. Now I'm going to put the gas back to a medium high and let this cook away for about 5-10 minutes. Right, it's been a few minutes. Smells wonderful. That caramelization of the meat, the onions, the garlic, the ginger, and the spices. Oh my god, absolutely beautiful. Now, if you're wondering why the hell did he put some onions in when you see traditional Nihari dishes don't have it this way, remember guys, I just use my experience and my knowledge to how I like it, and this is my own recipe, so I'm keeping it authentic as well as being very creative to how I like it. I want you to have the best dish ever. So I think it's all been wonderfully cooked. Now my spices, the rawness of the spices, that sort of flavor, that sort of smell I don't like. So I've cooked it out, and my onions, my ginger garlic, everything has caramelized and softened beautifully. Now what I'm going to do is add some water. Got my kettle. It's above 1.7 litre. So I'm going to add this in. So that was less than 2 litres, or 2 litres should be fine. So what's going to happen is now I'm going to cook it for a very long time, and I want it to simmer, and I want all that gelatinous fat and everything to come out into this wonderful sauce, which is going to be, the flavours is going to be exceptional, I promise you. Now this is authenticity and that sort of village style dishes with how we have it at Bengali households, but this is traditionally a Pakistani sort of dish, but everyone's got their variation, as you know. So please, no war in the comment section. There you go. Now I'm putting the lid back on. My time is 12:43, saying I'm going to put it on a high gas and come back to it in about half an hour. Right, as you can see, the curry is boiling away. It's actually been 10 minutes. I was meant to say come back to it in 10 minutes. So I'm going to have a look at it now. Wonderful. Now I'm going to reduce the heat. So now this is medium. So I want this, the water that I put into here, I want it to build a nice sauce, and I want all the flavours to come out into that sauce. So put the lid back on and come back and check it in about another 10-15 minutes or so. Right, it's been on the medium heat for a good half an hour. Lovely. Some of the oil has risen there, so it's on a nice simmer, which is wonderful. Now what I'm going to do, I've seen it, I've checked it, it's wonderful. Right, put the lid back on. Just lowered the gas slightly, so it's on a medium low. In fact, I'll show you. There you go. So I'm going to let this cook for a good another half an hour, 40 minutes, and then I'm going to come back to it. Right, that's been another half an hour. Simmering away beautifully. Right, what I'm going to do now is another process. I'm going to remove it from the heat. This is about 4 tablespoons of plain flour. Sorry, I don't have the plain flour, this is self-rising flour, but it should do the business. So heat this up, it's about 70 grams over here. And I'm going to heat this up so it's slightly toasted, and I'm going to add this to the mutton. You don't need to do this, but if you do this, it builds a lovely nutty sort of flavour when you toast the flour. Right, I'm satisfied with this. There you go. Nice, toasted. Right, put a bit of water, room temperature. There you go. So no bits. Beautiful. Now, while I was doing the flour, the curry has sort of calmed down. It's been about 5-6 minutes, and the oil has come to the top. There's a fair bit of oil here, but this is absolutely full of flavour. So I need to take some oil out. carefully. Beautiful. I think that's plenty. There you go. Leave this to, now I'm going to leave this to a side. Right, I've put the gas back on. Now I'm going to slowly just drizzle some in. So now it cooled down slightly. Now I'm going to put the gas, it's on medium. And what this flour is going to do is just thicken this up. And it's going to build a... the reason why I took out the oil, because when you put the flour in, it just eats up all the oil, and you don't want that. That oil is a lot of flavour. I can add it onto the curry as an option. Mix this beautifully. Now I'm going to put the gas to a medium-high. And cook this out until I get my consistency right. And while this is cooking, I'm going to take out some of the garam masala as well. It's done its job. All the flavourings has come out. Now it's just a hindrance, so it's getting in the way, which we don't want. So used and abused now. Can't obviously take out the peppercorn, that's the flavour and stuff, the cloves, but the bay leaf, and if you can try to fish out the cardamom, that'll be a good job. Right, I'm going to cook this out now. Put the lid on and come back to it in about 10 minutes. Right, that's boiling away. It's a nice thick sauce. Taste of salt. Right, originally I've added about 1.5 teaspoons. You might need to add half. Yeah, it tastes nice, so I would add just a little bit more. So that's just about half a teaspoon, a few pinches that I've added. Mutton is a little bit tougher than lamb. If this was lamb, it would have been nice and soft. So the meat has got a bit of bite to it. So I'm going to cook it for a further 10-15 minutes on a low gas. Lovely. Right, while that's cooking, I'm going to add some garam masala. Let's just give it a lovely fragrance. Now 10 more minutes and that'll be ready. The slow cooked mutton. That thick Nihari sauce. Bubbling away, lovely, beautiful mutton pieces, succulent, tender, juicy, absolutely gorgeousness. So that's about done now. Beautiful. Looks absolutely beautiful. There you go. Wonderful pieces of meat. That's the back chop. Beautiful. Julienne of ginger, green chilies, fresh coriander, lovely wedge of lemon, that fat from the sauce, and that sharp citric from the lemon is going to be beautiful. Now this is the oil. Voila, beautiful, look at that. Wonderful, amazing flavors, all in this pot. Look at that fat oil, that rogan, absolutely wonderful. There you go. It's going to be beautiful, excellent and fantastic for you guys to enjoy at home. And if you like this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more fantastic videos. Thank you very much. Lovely mutton nihari and its lovely gravy. Some fresh coriander, lemon, garlic, green chili. Lovely bit of the fat from above the curry. And now the masterpiece. Mutton nihari in all its glory. Absolutely beautiful. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, guys. Fantastic. Thank you very much. And make sure you share and make it go viral.